Adam Carolla's in trouble for a podcast. This is where we're at today.
This is not good.
Now he has to apologize for something he said on a podcast. That's where we're at.
This makes no sense whatsoever.
Not the most sincere apology, I don't think, though.
Oh, no, I think he's the type of guy that he's like us, like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Fake apology time. You know?
What? Oh, God.
I think we got,
That's the podcast.
this is what he said.
Yes.
This is the,
Right,
this
let's
is,
see how evil and horrid this is.
that group GLAAD.
Is it GLAAD?
Mm-hmm.
They are the opposite of funny and fun.
Not very glad most of the
they're
time.
not glad.
Yeah, they're mad
Ungrateful.
at something.
Yes.
They should call their organization ungrateful.
Yeah.
Adam Carolla apologized to GLAAD for this.
Well, see, the petition reads, in this horrific age of LGBT, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender
When did
kids.
everybody get fucking lumped in with the gays? You know what I mean? Really, how much? What percentage is transgendered? You know what I mean? Like, let's just say
So
I was a
homophobic of you to
politician and I
ask.
was like, "Hey, transgendered folks, I don't need your vote. I don't think I could get elected." Well, they make up 30% of the population. Sure, I went to school with a bunch of transgendered guys, and now I work with a bunch of them. Like, what the fuck? When did we start giving a shit about these people?
Yeah, I don't know.
And then
I don't know
work,
one.
We got to work it out with the, and now there's all these variations where it's like, I'm a pre-op, transgender, trans-neutral, trans-fat. Shut the fuck up.
Bravo.
I love it. It's good.
Bravo.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
GLAAD can be upset, that's fine, but that's it. That's all they could be, is upset. There's nothing wrong with that.
They really are the biggest bunch of fucking babies.
Right.
They're babies.
They are babies.
Carolla's entertaining his audience. He's absolutely being funny with the whole
That
thing.
was funny. And it is.
Sorry.
It's like what he was saying is he's a comedian. True,
He's
not a
expressing
politician.
frustration.
And it is a funny thing to talk about. It's like there are so many people now lumped in under the gay umbrella that it gets ridiculous.
Right. And then it continued.
I want an apology from all the Asians and all the transgendered
Aoki.
and the the gay, the lesbian. What is it again?
The lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender. I don't know why they put it in that order, because that's not alphabetical.
Right.
It makes no sense. They
Plus,
must think it rolls off the tongue.
Should it be something that spells something like yuck or something? You know what I mean?
Very good. Well, that's some good material right there.
But again, that is something he's being sarcastic and a little shitty about it, and that's what that's what Adam's humor is.
Yeah,
that's
right.
what his fucking humor is. And fucking GLAAD that GLAAD has never come out and said, we really think, hey, look, that's not our style. But, hey, he should be able to say whatever he wants.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers, like every other special interest group, never, ever, ever come out and defend people's right to say shit they don't like. Oh, no, we think you have the right, but we're still going to fucking backdoor and target your advertisers. Fuck them. Yeah.
How about how about I'm offended by things they say and do, and are free to broadcast but I want them removed from the airwaves because what they say and their lifestyle offends me so much that I need them taken off the air.
It's amazing. Like, as ignorant being offended by their lifestyle is, it's just as ignorant being offended by jokes about their lifestyle.
They're the ones going, I can't believe you're not allowed to be offended by my lifestyle. They actually say you're not allowed to be offended by their lifestyle. They are people. They are just trying to live their lives. They are gay. They are lesbian. They are transgendered, whatever. Yet they will try to shut down anyone that says anything adverse about them, even in jest.
Yeah.
It's hypocritical. It's self-important drivel.
They're just babies, and it's of all the groups, GLAAD's a very powerful one. And I think on Red Eye, they've made fun of gay people, and a lot of times Gutfeld has invited people from GLAAD to come on, and they won't come on.
Brown Eye. See,
I know.
It's
cute.
See,
but they won't come on and argue.
No.
They want to just release press statements and be in a perfectly controlled environment.
Yes.
Like when they had Tracy in that press conference, they wanted to be their backdrop, their setting, their situation. Gay people who I think legitimately wanted to be treated a certain way have just turned into the same fucking self-righteous, easily offended babies that every other special interest group is.
If you want to gather the troops together and have a march or a speech or statement about somebody beating the shit out of gay people, that's one thing. I'm all for that. Whatever you want to do, great. But when you take the same power that you have as a group and put it toward that, which is a good thing, and put it towards something like humor and something Adam Carolla says and jokes and that you can't put those in the same category.
What groups are doing, and they know they're full of shit by doing this. I know deep down they know it. Is they're taking things that they know are said in humor that they just don't like, and they're putting that parasitic fucking hate speech phrase on it.
Right.
Because that gets a reaction out of companies. Well, we can't tolerate hate speech.
Yep.
Even though they know deep down Carolla's not hateful. He's just being an asshole, and he's just being sarcastic. Like, you know, they know that.
It's entertaining. He's got to entertain people. A gay subject came up, and he's talking about it in a fun, entertaining way. What's he supposed to do? Fucking read your goddamn flyers on the air the second a goddamn gay topic comes up? Toe your company line and all the propaganda you fucking shove out there? No, he's himself. He's making jokes. He's got an absolute right to do it. And to try to hurt his career and force these fucking apologies and bringing Tracy Morgan back to the fucking 1700 slavery days where they held that poor bastard captive. Jesus Christ, enough of you motherfuckers. Had it.
With that, Adam told TMZ, I'm sorry my comments were hurtful. I'm a comedian, not a politician. It was half-hearted, so. But he understands that this shit could blow out of fucking proportion, so.
But see, here's the deal. Who did they complain to?
And advertisers that are potentially going to be with him. If he might have them already. He might have them already, yeah.
TMZ, they're a bunch of assholes, too. The homophobic rant.
Oh, stop.
It wasn't a homophobic rant. Understand what humor is, TMZ, you cunts.
Well, TMZ's got fucking, what's his name there in charge?
Yeah, of course. He sips on that straw every day, but you know what he really wants to be fucking sipping on.
Well, crazy straw.
And that's fine if that's what he wants to do. Trust me, it's fine, whatever. But
I'm just
but he should understand humor. That's not a homophobic rant. That's far from it. That's a guy trying to be funny with some edgy material.
Yeah. Here we go. The Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation is reaching out to its allies in the entertainment industry to pull him from the air, telling TMZ this gross intolerance that Adam tries to pass off as comedy should not have a place on our airwaves.
On our airwaves? It's a podcast.
It's a podcast, you idiots.
You
the internet.
Stupid fucks from GLAAD.
The internet isn't yours, you fucking assholes.
Not yet, anyway. I'm sure we're heading that way eventually.
God, I'm disgusted.
They just use the words like our airwaves. A podcast is not going out over the airwaves. It's being downloaded, you dumbbells.
Yeah. Stop
using 1950s phraseology.
Yes.
It's not what it is. It's not the public airwaves. They're not your airwaves. It's a requested, downloaded piece of material.
Yeah, I bet this dumb fuck that wrote that thought he was still on regular standard fucking radio and said that. I bet that dumb fuck that wrote that statement thinks the Adam Carolla show is on a station that broadcasts over the air and had no clue it's on a podcast.
And isn't comedy, you got to ask Jimmy this, you know, you talk about stuff that makes you feel uncomfortable, right? And then you kind of make it funny. That's a part of comedy anyway.
I told you I heard his phrase so well by a guy who was driving me to the Tonight Show. I think he's Australian, and we were just talking about comedy and what's wrong with people apologizing, and I forget what was in the news that week. And he said it. He goes, it's supposed to be like in society when there's a knot. It's like in your back. You don't avoid it during a massage. You take your knuckle and you dig it into the knot. And he goes, that's what comedians are supposed to do with these things in society.
Yeah.
And it was such a great way to phrase it, because that is kind of what we should do. And I don't mean be purposefully insightful or insincerely insightful, but I think if there's something that's really a tender spot for the country, don't fucking avoid it.
Right.
You should make fun of it.
Of course.
That to me is your job, is to make fun of it.
I asked you that because my line with this whole thing is when I see a guy dressed as a woman, it makes me very uncomfortable.
So you had me until you said uncomfortable.
Oh.
But that's where my line is. I don't understand it, and I don't feel like I have to understand it. And, we do the type of show, of course we want to make fun of that and make some fucking jokes.
And it's like anything else. There are some guys that can pull it off, and you look and go like, all right, look, that guy decided he wants to look like a chick.
Yes.
And he's pulling it off. I still know it's a guy, but then
you're speaking my language.
But you
won
can't
Jimmy
help
over.
but laugh your fucking ass off when you see a guy that I would normally have seen on a job site,
right,
as a fucking steam fitter, pops a wig on,
right,
and a skirt,
right,
and puts makeup on and starts like strutting around. It makes me laugh. I'm not being intolerant. I'm not saying he should be beaten. I'm not saying he shouldn't live his life the way he wants to live it. But I'm going to laugh my fucking ass off because he looks ridiculous.
I should still have the right to laugh at it.
Yes.
Things that aren't sexually.
I'm not gonna harm the guy physically or anything, but yeah, I'm gonna chuckle and laugh, and then because we're lucky enough to have a radio show, we're gonna bring it to everyone's attention and kind of goof on and make jokes.
And I'm not even gonna say that, oh man, that guy should have the shit beat out of him.
No, of course
not.
But
I am gonna say he looks silly.
He looks ridiculous.
And things that are not sexually oriented, like a guy in a toupee that you don't think looks right on him.
Right.
You laugh at. A guy who always wears a suit jacket that isn't right for him, or he's wearing a white suit jacket all the time with an open shirt, you laugh at. It's like, it's one more thing that if it makes you uncomfortable, if you don't like the way it looks, you should be able to laugh at and make fun of it. And the fact that they say you shouldn't is irritating.
And A-hole cop on Twitter, he goes, shame on Adam Carolla for apologizing. I've changed the corner on this thing, by the way. We used to be like, just don't apologize, but unfortunately you have no fucking choice.
Snowballs.
If you want to continue doing what you love doing. In his case, he loves podcasting, right? Unfortunately, I don't agree with that anymore. I understand when these guys do apologize, but I love the fact that you could hear that it's half-hearted.
Give the insincere apology.
It's a fake apology, all that shit. I love it.
And we've made this statement many times over the years. If you ever do hear us apologize for something, we absolutely don't mean it.
Were you sorry for homeless Charlie?
No. Not at all.
Not in the least.
Let's play. Are we allowed to at least play the apology?
Yeah, where's our apology?
You can hear how fucking pissed off we are.
How can we not play the audio here?
Ugh. But to be forced to apologize and being threatened, like, look, we're going to fucking boycott and do all that, there's no place for that.
No.
There's no fucking place for that. You're just going to make people bitter. It's not going to help your cause.
It makes people resent your cause, resent you, resent your organization. That's what it is. When I read shit about GLAAD and them forcing people through mob tactics, like what the fucking mafia does to people to do their bidding, it doesn't garner sympathy from me or from a lot of other people. I think it garners sympathy from most people probably in the gay community because they look at that like, like I look at the NRA.
Right.
But, everyone else is going, shut the fuck up and stop crying.
And it's like when you look at, who is the woman? Like when I watch documentaries on gay.
Sorry, I got an update on the story, Jimmy. Sorry, go ahead. Finish your thought. I'm really sorry.
That's all right. When I watch documentaries on gay, what marriage and shit. Like, who's the conservative woman who is a Mouseketeer? I literally.
Oh yeah.
I want her tits to get lopped off. Who is she?
The orange lady there.
She's as fucking.
Anita Bryant.
She to me is as hateable an individual. Mm-hmm. She's as I literally I just hope that she dies of something. It can be cancer. It doesn't have to be.
But she was dead. No.
Oh, good. Is she?
No,
I hope
have no idea.
But like, as much as I can hate her for the way she fought gay causes, how can gay causes turn around and start annoying me? It's like, do you know how far you have to go in one direction to annoy me now?
To now annoy you.
As much as I am on your side.
Yeah.
TN Trucker Guy, thank you. He just sent this to me. GLAAD taking action against Adam Carolla's anti-LGBT remarks. Adam Carolla, blah, blah, blah. He apologized, blah, blah, blah. GLAAD responded, Adam Carolla has a history of making anti-LGBT and racist statements, said Herndon Graddick, senior director of programs at GLAAD. Networks and advertisers should remember that attacking people who are different from him and following it with empty apologies is just a regular part of Carolla's routine. GLAAD will be reaching out to its allies in the entertainment world to let them know about Adam Carolla's history of racist and homophobic remarks following an incident last week. The problem Adam Carolla's doing is he's doing it in a podcast. Well, no, I guess you can't even do it on a comedy stage anymore. I was going to use that excuse. I mean, these fucks don't understand humor.
The only thing is you have to fucking, like, Jersey Shore is a great example of what happens when you do not listen to fucking special interests.
Right.
Basically, MTV told the Italian groups to go fuck themselves and had 9 million people watching on MTV a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Do not listen to any of these special interest shitheads. But the problem is none of us who are not in special interest groups fight back. You know what I mean? It's like they are the ones who mobilize, but other people do not mobilize. Maybe now that with social networking, people will a little bit more.
We've never been allowed to fight back. We've been told what to do by our employers every single fucking time. We're told, shut your mouth, don't say anything, we'll handle this. We have our press and this publicist will do this and say this. And meanwhile, the best people that are most qualified to fucking quell the problem is us. Because we would say, hey, this is what we are, this is what we do, and be honest about it.
Oh, good.
Instead of some bullshit fucking apology and statement that we never fucking would have thought up ourselves or written.
So they quote Adam saying LGBT, yuck, that whole thing we just played, right? And then they say this. Carolla at one point asked, when did we start giving a shit about these people? And this person writes, wow, what a great joke. It is a great joke. It is a great joke.
Don't worry about it.
You go through your life and realize, when I was growing up, and I'm just stating facts, you would look at those people like it's a freak show, but now all of a sudden it's not a freak show anymore.
Transgender people?
You used to pay 50 cents at a fucking circus to see shit like that.
Yeah, transgender.
So when he says, when did we start giving a shit about these people? Yeah, it's kind of confusing. Like, wait, what?
The language was a little too raw for you? But the truth of the matter is, when did we start giving a shit about the people, caring about them, giving them the rights that they deserve? When, shit like that. You can interpret it any way you like.
No, I'm not talking about just gays in general.
Yeah, I know.
This is the fringe of the gay community, right?
Or fringe of any part of society. Yeah, the fringe, the people that, like Jimmy said, the guy with the toupee, you make fun of him, a fucking toupee organization. What if I decided I wanted to fucking frost my hair? I'd be laughed at because it just looks silly. But if some, younger guy decides to highlight his hair, he looks great. You know what? How about a gay guy dresses in a dress? He looks like a fucking idiot.
How about
but some can dress in a dress and look great?
You bet
Whatever.
they can.
But how about growing up? The guy would always dress as the girl for Halloween or what have you, and it was always, look how silly and ridiculous he looks.
Yeah.
And that's all we know.
Right.
So that's so when Adam Carolla says something like that, whoa, when did we that used to be the goof.
Yeah.
You're dressing like a woman, you silly goose.
But they cannot see anything else but hate speech.
Their argument would be for that. Here's what their argument would be. If they were in the room, here's what they'd say. Well, you're right, but people aren't being beaten up and killed for wearing toupees. People aren't being targeted for violence. People with toupees are allowed to get married. They would have all these arguments.
What the fuck else is it? Somebody with a bad toupee gets punched in the face probably every day.
But none of that, they should. But none of that has any bearing on why you can't make fun of something. Even though they're technically right, you're right, people aren't being killed for bad. But that doesn't explain why you can't make fun of something.
Right.
Because there is not a correlation between goofing on something and then fucking tying up Matthew Shepard, murdering him.
Right.
There's not a connection there. And they say, well, it creates an environment. I'm so fucking tired of the creates or fosters an environment argument. It's nonsense.
It doesn't.
This article goes on, but they're not happy. So now they're going to attempt to hold Adam Carolla hostage. You watch.
And by the way,
just like they did with Tracy fucking Morgan.
That is a good joke. Because
it's
again,
a great joke.
You take any joke out of context with no inflection.
I know.
He was saying, when do we start giving a shit about these people? It's a sarcastic, shitty way of saying something that's obviously sarcastic and shitty. He's not just saying it's a statement of fact.
Too bad, but it was humor.
Right.
Too bad. Too fucking bad is what you should be saying to these people. Ugh. It's humor. It's a fucking joke.
Why don't these motherfuckers just stop listening to anything, watching anything?
They don't listen to
accepting
shit.
Letters about people that watch. Yeah, I know they don't.
They got their people out there that are constantly recording and sending in little clips here and there. They don't listen to any of this stuff. All right, why don't we break? I could say this. You were reading more of the GLAAD thing, and it's infuriating. And I was telling Aunt, when GLAAD does this nonsense to entertainers and comics and all and what not,
yes,
as an entertainer, any understanding I have sort of shrinks. Mm-hmm. And then I told Aunt, it makes you wanna, as an entertainer, take those low blows.
Go for the jugular, yeah.
Take those low blows, like, really? Now watch what I subtly do.
Yeah, because it's your only recourse when you read this stuff. And
what was that one line you read out loud to us? Do you remember?
It's
like this guy from GLAAD is trying to tell Adam Carolla and everyone else that makes a living being funny.
Being funny, yeah, what's funny?
What funny is, what the definition of funny is, and that's what's enraging. You don't find it funny.
No.
That's okay. But don't tell everyone else that they shouldn't laugh at shit like that.
And you can't say it's not fun. What Adam Carolla doesn't understand is that ignorance does not give his act an edge. In fact, ignorance is about as far from an edge as you can get. It's unchallenging, it's flat, and it's dull. There's nothing funny about saying we shouldn't teach the transgender people you shouldn't teach that transgender people deserve respect. But Adam Carolla's decision to use one of the country's most marginalized communities as a target is not just lazy comedy. It reinforces the idea that transgender people shouldn't be treated with the same respect as everyone else, an attitude that leads to discrimination, harassment, and violence.
There you go. Reinforces the idea, and it leads. That guy who said that, you're fucking wrong.
You're a liar.
It doesn't lead to it. Adam Carolla making fun of something does not lead to violence.
Show the facts.
Fucking lying.
Show the facts on that one.
What?
You were real quick to point out the facts that gay couples that adopt children, their children are just as well adjusted as children of straight parents. You brought up that fucking statement because Adam, I guess at one point it said that straight parents were better than gay parents. I'm sure he was making a joke, and even if he wasn't, that's his opinion. Mm-hmm. But then they have to, nothing makes comedy that much better than throwing statistics in it to refute what a comedian is saying. Shut the fuck up. Just shut up and enjoy your lives.
It's fucking... It is simply... They're just trying to find excuses as to why they can stop you from saying something they don't like. That's all it is.
But it's also headlines.
I don't like it.
They want to get... This is a great time for them to get in the news and get awareness of their fucking group.
Of course.
And their main people. This is who we are.
Oh, right, really? So other people have to become sacrificial fucking lambs?
That's it.
Like people have to lose their jobs and careers so they could get in the newspaper? Fuck you.
Yeah, but isn't the point? A podcast, they can't fuck with a podcast.
That's what I was saying. Apparently they can.
Yeah, he can't take you off the internet.
I know.
No, we explained this whole thing about an hour ago, Bobby. You're absolutely right. That's what you should be thinking, but nah, it's...
Yeah, but you can get your own server.
Yeah.
No, but the problem is he's now making money with his podcast.
Oh, he's going to lose his...
So there's some pressure possibly being put on advertisers.
Right.
Plus someone like Adam Carolla has other things he does to make a living, like he's got a couple projects coming out. They could get to you.
Yeah,
even on a podcast.
Once you start working with anyone else, you then open yourself up for people from communities to fuck with you. From whatever community, fill in the fucking blank community to fuck with you. Yeah, it's infuriating. I read that whole thing. the whole statement that's on GLAAD's webpage, I guess. Go fucking find it. I could go with 20 jokes of whatitis.com, but I want to keep my job a little longer. Wow, could I make some, go to this site.com, that site.com to get to the GLAAD page.
Is that a GLAAD?
Yeah, see?
Shit.
Can we just stop using the word gay also for gay people? Because gay, as we know, used to mean happy, fun, and then they turned it into being homosexual, and it's not anymore. Can we just change the word fucking miserable to mean homosexual now and gay? So GLAAD could say, the miserable community is very angry about what's saying. Gay was fun! The gay 90s! Right? Going out having a gay old time like on the Flintstones song.
What do you mean the gay 90s?
The guy in the gay 90s, in the 1890s?
Oh, okay.
It was the gay 90s.
I just wonder what you were up to in the 1990s.
What? Oh, well, you know, you could call it the gay 90s.
You scared me. You
Just
scared me
slipped out,
there.
Anthony.
Was it the 1890s you're talking about?
Scooty-a-doo.
Okay.
The gay. Just stop using the word gay. I'm offended by your use of the word gay because it means happy, and you apparently are fucking miserable.
Well, I'll tell you this much. Adam Carolla, it'll be very interesting to see how he handles this one.
Yes.
I don't think he'll back off, but I think Adam
He's
will.
the
hoping
benchmark right now.
That's what
he's
we're hoping
the
for.
benchmark of podcasts and everything like that.
I was extremely disappointed how far in Tracy Morgan went with
Oh, my
what
God.
they wanted him to do.
They had him like Kunta Kinte.
They sure did.
They fucking had him in chains, parading him around the country on a homosexual apology tour.
I said it on this show. He was held hostage.
Yes.
And they decided when they
bastard.
were going to let him go. We'll see what happens with Adam on this one because it's not going away.
Yeah, but he was involved more in the corporate side of show business. Adam's
Exactly.
Adam's doing his own thing, so he'll probably be better off.
But the thing is, even though he was involved in the corporate side and he was trying to protect his fucking NBC gig,
right?
The fact that GLAAD took such advantage of it as to parade him around the country apologizing is despicable on their part. Despicable.
And most people I know are disgusted by it.
Yeah.
By the phony apology by special interest groups in general. It's just assholes in show business. They're the same people that are involved in advertising. They're fucking socially, they're cowards.
Yeah.
All right, we got Bruce, a gay guy, and we also have
Bruce, a gay guy, really? Is this real?
And we got some info
Bruce is statistically a gay name.
On what's going on with Adam Carolla and how they're going to try to hurt him. But first, we got Bruce. Bruce, go ahead, buddy.
Well, first off, Anthony, what's wrong with the name Bruce? Just because my name is Bruce doesn't give you free opportunity to run rampant upon gay individuals.
It's just stereotypically a gay name, so I believed you were probably faking one of our dopey listeners that thought he would call in a fake gay voice and name himself Bruce. But that's all. Silly me.
But I guess your parents just knew when you were coming out of mommy.
Yeah.
They said, this is a Bruce.
All right, let her rip, Bruce.
Okay. First off, don't lump all of the gay community in with that fat, ridiculous individual that is trying to represent us. It's an old gay queen with a lot of hatred. It's not the gay community.
Who are you talking about?
The guy from GLAAD, Bruce?
Well, of course the guy.
All right, let me...
He's been ranting and raving about all morning.
So why does he have so much power within your community? He's obviously getting things done.
It's like Reverend Al.
That's not it. He does not have the power unless you give it to him. It's not my fault or my community's fault that we have representatives, just as you do in your community, that are worthless. Reverend Al is a perfect example. Even the people in the Congress and Senate, they're ridiculous, but I don't consider you to be part of it.
That's true. I'm learning something today. So you're saying the guy from GLAAD is just as bad as a Reverend Al to most of your community?
Absolutely.
Holy shit.
So
I
he
know
should be written off then and not acknowledged.
Right, but the thing is, though, blacks don't really speak out much against Reverend Al, and you never hear gay people criticizing or disagreeing publicly with GLAAD.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. You're not in our community.
But that's true. But you don't hear Jews publicly disagreeing with the JDL either. You never hear special interest groups being publicly disagreed with by their constituents, whether they're willing constituents or not.
Well, I don't have a platform, Jimmy. I don't have anywhere I can voice my opinion. Today, you gave me one.
Yeah, no, I mean in general. I mean in general, not necessarily like as an individual, regular working guy. I mean, just in general, you don't hear it.
Hey, Bruce, how gay are you?
Because
No. I asked this. Did you hear what Adam said? Were you listening to the show when we played back audio from his podcast?
Absolutely.
All right. Were you offended?
By no means.
Jesus Christ. Of course not. Thank you. Thank you, Bruce.
Someone with some sense.
I would hug you if I was guaranteed not to catch anything, but thank you for that.
Oh, that's not even appropriate.
Sorry, Bruce. I'm fucking around.
I'd just be afraid I might get a rod. It happens. It's been known to happen.
Turn it off. Oh, Bruce, thank you for saying that, though. All right, so you weren't offended by what Adam said. Did he hang up?
It sounded like his phone kind of went.
He was going into a tunnel.
Oh, jeez.
Wow, that's interesting. The community looks at that guy like,
Well, some. But the thing is, when you have all the juice like that, the power.
He's wielding power because look what he got Tracy Morgan to do.
I know.
This is what they're trying to do to Adam Carolla. This is... Go ahead, Tommy.
Tommy.
Tony, but that's close enough.
Oh, Tony, right. What's up, buddy?
Tony.
Hey, my daughter goes to a college. I'd rather not say which one. And she has three roommates, and two of them belong to this late LGBT, whatever it is, which is part of GLAAD.
Yeah.
And they were talking about this, and they're saying if they don't get the proper apology, that they're going to call for Apple to pull his podcast, or they're going to call for a nationwide boycott of Apple.
All right, listen to me. What happened to an apology? Now it has to be the proper apology.
Yes.
Right.
By the way,
what is a proper apology?
I have no idea what I thought just saying, hey, my bad was good enough, but I guess not anymore.
I don't think Apple will pull it, to be honest with you. I don't know if Apple can. First of all, a nationwide boycott of Apple. Get the fuck out of here. Do you really think gay people are going to download music or that would last for fucking 3 hours? It's not Selma in 1965. A boycott of Apple is not going to work. Go ahead.
Waxing
I dare you to fucking boycott Apple. I dare you. It's not going to mean anything.
No.
You're not going to hurt Apple. They're bigger than Exxon.
But the press gets a hold of it.
Apple might.
And then Apple goes,
Apple's
we're very liberal.
It doesn't matter. What basis would they remove that? The fucking rap albums they sell?
Apple does whatever the fuck they want. They remove shit. They take shit off.
I could see them doing
for
that.
any reason.
Jimmy, I could see them doing that.
Apple's pretty tight, man. They'd fucking do that in a second.
I could read it already. We've received many complaints from GLAAD and other organizations, and we feel tolerance is most important in the Apple community, and we are joining together with blah-de-blah. Boom, he's gone. I could see that happening.
But he could get his own server. I don't know if there's any nerds out there. But he could get his own server and get donations and still do his podcast. He could tell everybody, go fuck yourself. I'm just going to go do my... right? I mean,
I don't think so, because what happens is they leak it into other projects he's doing. They're sneaky.
Yeah, he would have to just...
They're sneaky.
If
but what
they
I'm saying
didn't fire
is,
us, nothing would have happened.
I was just trying to be funny.
Would have been fine.
Sorry, and I should have went with the joke. I apologize. You're right. You're right.
No, but I get you. I understand.
But with Adam Carolla, it's not just they're focusing on his podcast. They're focusing on other things he's doing that might be an easier get.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
They the special interest groups have become leeches. And what they do is whenever they see an opportunity, they hear something they don't like, they latch on to the public figure like a leech, and they force you to spout their message. And they all do it. This is not a gay issue. Blacks do it. Italians do it. I'm sure the JDL does. Every fucking group finds you saying something they don't like, and they know the difference between hate speech and a joke that is just tasteless. There is a difference. Two Jews walk into a bar is now considered hate speech in this fucking pussy country.
Reverend Al did it to Imus. I see Imus on the TV this morning, and let's not forget, Reverend Al owned fucking Imus for a while, and then eventually let him go.
I'm sorry I did that. I'm sorry that happened.
How happy I am I attacked that fat pig in my fucking book and on Twitter.
That is
Absolutely.
good.
It just feels creatively satisfying.
It's there.
It's there.
In history now.
Fuck that motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if comics going to get behind. They're going to get behind him and stick up for him.
If Apple pulls his podcast, comics should fucking pull our CDs off of Apple. It won't hurt their business, but it's a state. I'm not going to hurt Apple's. They don't give a fuck if I'm on there or not. Right. But every comedian who's not a PC fucking little sissy should fucking pull your CDs and your stuff off of fucking iTunes if they pull him, because dummies, you're next.
But where is his? I mean, where is his voice though? Is it just him speaking up for him? Who sticks up for him?
The way it is
that our responsibility?
Of course it is.
To get behind him and fucking rap. I mean, that's it. We're lazy. I don't want to fuck up my life.
Yep.
Right.
I have to take a nap after O&A because I got to play Call of Duty later.
Of course.
So if there's a rally to help out, do I really? I mean, is that the problem? If we all stood up and backed him up and became a bigger monster than their fucking monster,
much bigger than GLAAD.
Absolutely.
But the people are very apathetic.
We just don't do it.
They just don't care. Not don't care. You just don't have the energy.
We don't back each other.
Yeah.
We back each other in theory. Like, like if the way to vote was somebody goes, hey, do you back him? And you go, yeah, and that counted, we'd all back people.
Because we think it should be common sense, is what it is. Why should we have to get together into a group to protest something or to voice our side of an argument when their side is so utterly fucking ridiculous that it's basic common sense that everyone should just know this.
If fucking and again, my stuff on iTunes means nothing. It really doesn't on there. But if they pull his podcast, I will fucking yank my material off of iTunes. And again, it will not affect them.
Yeah.
I'll pull my CD off, not my podcast, but I'll pull that CD right down.
Everyone should pull their shit off. It's the only way to fucking.
Yeah.
What are we looking at?
The people just walking by saying hi.
But that won't do anything either. That's still silent. I mean, a bunch of comedians did something. But these people get in the news. They get in the fucking. They rally.
Well, the press already. The press also covers them.
Yeah, but nobody backs up Adam. We're all sitting there going, we back him up, and that's for a radio show. But this is gone. This is fucking in the air and gone. But we don't get behind. If we got behind him and
in what way would the press even cover it?
No,
the press loves covering GLAAD. They wouldn't.
But they like hear the other side too because it pushes the story.
Yeah.
So if there's a pushback, remember when we got in trouble? That fucking Debbie and those groups, they talked to them and they got them on TV immediately. Debbie was on television immediately because it allowed them to have a fucking argument.
And we're pushing back today, man, and changing people's opinions and getting people to get a little motivated, more motivated than they have been.
But you'd have to do it today, tomorrow, the next day. Get people together.
We're all about this. We're all about this. We were all in with Tracy Morgan,
Yeah, but they go.
We pushed back as much as we could with the Tracy Morgan story, and we're going to absolutely push back with this one as well.
This is a little different than what Tracy did, though, don't you think?
No.
Not really.
What are you talking about,
This was on a stage, too.
It's comedy. It's fucking...
What, you thought Tracy went too far?
No, I don't think he went too far. I think he was trying to be funny.
I think it's very similar.
But what he said was a little harsher than that.
What? Yeah. Tracy?
I'll fucking stab my little kid if he's a faggot.
In context of a bit of comedy on a stage, he wasn't on a fucking soapbox in Times Square professing his personal opinions on homosexuality. He's making people laugh from a stage. Right. If you want to be as tasteless and horrid as you want, you should be able to do that on stage as an act. You're doing a fucking act.
No, I agree with you. I'm just saying I think what he said was a little lighter than what Tracy did.
What Tracy said was shocking. It had shock value, but his shock value. Do you honestly think Tracy would fucking stab? I think Tracy would stab anybody. Really?
No, he's a sweetheart.
Not based on anything, because he's just crazy.
He's a sweetheart.
Yeah. No. The whole apologies that he had to do and all this, it was taken from something he said as a character he is on stage. We're all fucking, I'm Anthony Cumia on the Opie and Anthony radio show, but I'm not always exactly like this guy on the radio. Hate to bust up your fucking opinions of me out there.
Naked, drunk with a gun.
I'm much worse than I am on the air. No, but it's different. And I like the idea of being able to have that proverbial scarlet letter on me of I'm a racist, I'm fucking homophobic, I'm this. It gives me a freedom where people are like, they expect it out of him. He just says that. I enjoy that. I love it. I love when people call me a racist. You know why? I know really deep down, I'm not a true fucking racist. I look at shit and I'll comment on it open and honestly, and people call me a racist for that. Right. But you know what? I don't take people at face value with race and instantly slap a label on him. But when I see something happening that is stereotypical of a certain race, holy shit, I'm all over it. Why wouldn't you be?
Right.
Yeah, but I catch shit for it, but not as much as a lot of other people because I've embraced it. It's great. It's freeing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like Norton with trannies.
Exactly.
I'd be Bob's gay.
Oh my God.
Norton's just a freewheeling happy
Jimmy.
boy.
Yeah, no, I'm not gay at all. I love women.
No, of course.
Women are my thing.
Yeah.
What am I? Oh, you can't all of a sudden. Well, you can't fucking. You can't play baseball and football.
Turn it off.
Turn it off.
He loves it.
Push that down.
Well, that comic in Canada is taking it to the Supreme Court up there. He got banned from doing comedy.
Well, that's Canada.
In British Columbia.
Canada's wacky with their
wacky different up there.
Canada stinks
you
for
gotta
free
understand, though,
speech.
that's fucking nuts that somebody got sued for $22,000.
Well, they're all stoned up
and banned
there.
from doing comedy for saying shit to a couple lesbians. That's crazy. Imagine if that comes down here.
Ugh. Please.